Never stop learning. Never just assume that you know everything about what needs to be done and how to do your job.
Hello, Hannibal LaGrange, and welcome back to Major Questions, the show where we interview students about their love for their majors and future career paths. Our guest today is junior comm major Cole Arndorfer. Ever since his high school days, Cole has had an interest in communications and media. Now, he is a member of the Hannibal LaGrange News Beat team, as well as an intern for his local newspaper. Cole enjoys the constant hands-on experience, as well as continuing to learn skills and strategies for effective communication. Now, without further ado, here's your host, Jace Lobner.
Hi, I'm Jace Lobner, and this is Major Questions, a podcast where we sit down with amazing students about their experiences in the majors they love. Today, we will be interviewing a communications major from Kansas City, junior Cole Arndorfer. Cole, how are you?
I'm great, Jace. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So, first question, obviously, just for the viewers to get to know you, who are you?
Yeah, so my name is Cole Arndorfer. Like you said, I am a junior. I am on the baseball team here. I've been a part of the communications department ever since I got on campus here as a freshman, and I just really enjoy it and have a fun time doing it.
Awesome. So, being from Kansas City, talk to me about that experience just growing up. Maybe if you had anything that kind of led you to wanting to be a communications major.
Yeah, so my first kind of experience with communications or journalism kind of stuff was actually when I lived in Oklahoma. I was like 8 years old, and the local news station, they had this segment during their shows like once or twice a week where they would send a reporter out to a local youth game, and our team just happened to be one of the teams that they decided to pick that week, and nobody else wanted to go be interviewed, so I was like, man, I'll go interview. That looks fun. He's got a big camera on his shoulder. I'll do it. And that was kind of my first experience, and it's always stuck out in my mind. When we moved to Kansas City and I got older, up into high school, we had a local newspaper that would cover all of our high school athletics. And being on the baseball team, I was interviewed a few times, and I just really got to see how it worked, and I really enjoyed it. And I kind of decided that's what I wanted to look into doing as a career.
For sure. So, obviously, your baseball background, you love sports. That's kind of what you want to do with this?
Yeah.
Of course. All right, so how did you ultimately land at Hannibal? Walk me through the process that kind of brought you here.
So throughout high school, the recruiting process for baseball is a tough one. You know, you go through, you email a whole bunch of schools, you get responses back saying, you know, take a visit here, go here. I did the same kind of thing here at HLGU. I emailed the coaches, and they said, we'd love to have you on the visit. Come on this day. We'll do a tryout, and we'll get to know you a little bit. So I came. It was the August before my senior year of high school. I came and did the tryout and the visit, and I met with, at the time it was Dr. Brenneman, who was the head of the communications department, and talked to her a little bit about what the major had to offer, got to tour campus with admissions, had a good tryout with the baseball team, and I was offered, and I just kind of felt like this was where I wanted to spend 4 years of my life.
Awesome. So kind of a lot of working parts going together to bring you here.
Yeah.
So since you've been here for 3 years so far, you know, you've been in the comm program that whole time. Tell me about your experience in it.
Yeah, so my first year, my freshman year, we had Dr. Brenneman and Mrs. Jung. Dr. Brenneman has moved on now. I think she works at Quincy. So now we have Mrs. Jung. She's the head, and basically all of our classes are taught by her. And she's great. She is super encouraging. She works with us, gives us really good feedback on what we need to do. We have the News Beat team that me and you are both a part of. And we will go out, we'll do trips, we'll have fun together, we'll go out for coffee and just hang out and have a good time. And it's just really, really fun and encouraging while also being instructional and developmental.
Yeah, I know Miss Jung focuses a lot on like the practical application. Like you need to get out there and do it for yourselves. Do you want to talk on that a little bit about how you get the hands-on experience in this program?
Yeah, so like me and you yesterday, we had interviews, and you don't really, when you're picturing what you would do as a reporter, you don't really know what you would do until she hands you a camera and says, go out and interview this person. So we do a lot of that in this department. We just get the gear and we go. She gives us a small bit of direction on like where she wants the story to go, and then she lets us go. And I think that's really important because, you know, if this is something you want to do, you need to know how it goes. If you don't understand that completely, you're not going to do well in the field. Or if you don't like it at all, you know, hey, this isn't what I want to do. I need to switch now.
Exactly, and it helps that, you know, Miss Jung has that background in the industry as well, being a reporter at one time and
Definitely
stuff.
helps, yes.
Yeah, so what do you think some of the skills that you need to have in the communications field?
Definitely very personable. The whole name is communications. You have to know how to communicate effectively with people. If you don't truly understand that, then you won't be able to develop those relationships with the people that you are doing stories on. You won't be able to connect with your coworkers well. If you're on air, you won't be able to have a nice kind of connection with your anchor. It's just a lot of being able to communicate with people. And if you don't have that, then it's just not going to work.
For sure. Now, talk to me about some of those areas that you've grown in as you've come to Hannibal, because obviously the whole point is to grow and get better in your field. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so communication, obviously, I just talked about that. When I came in, I really wasn't very extroverted. I kind of kept to myself, you know, I would do my work, but I wouldn't really like talk to others about how I'm doing it or, you know, like what they're doing. Now I've grown and I've learned, and I know that I need to talk to others about how they do it, because maybe they do it in a different way that I do, and maybe their way I can use a few things of what they do and do my job better. If I don't talk to them about how they do that, I won't know and grow as a person myself. And also with the people that I work with interviewing, I know that I need to have like a short conversation with them before we start, because maybe they're not comfortable being on camera. They don't like that it's in front of them, so they need to be comfortable at least with me, to look at me and have a conversation with me and forget that the camera is even there.
For sure. And I think the name of it is just to kind of build confidence in yourself, build it in your ability to do the job. I would say freshmen come in kind of a little scared. Do you think you've grown, got that confidence throughout the years?
Definitely. Like I said, I came in, I didn't really know exactly how it was going to go. I knew this was something that I was interested in and something that I would want to maybe look into. And Miss Jung has gotten to teach me how to do these things. And I've grown. I know how to use the equipment. I know what I need to do. I know how many questions I need to ask and which ones would produce the best sound bites, everything like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, everything's not always sunshine and rainbows. There's some challenges. So talk to me about some of the things that you've kind of experienced in this major that have brought challenges to you that you've had to overcome.
It's a lot of detail-oriented things. So like lining a person up on the right side of the camera and standing on the right side so they're looking in the right direction, stuff like that. I've come across challenges with audio, not plugging it in the right spot or it not working the way that I want it to. So there's been some stuff that we've had to work through with that. And, you know, classes are obviously hard. I have worked through some challenges with that, and I think that Mrs. Jung does a great job. She always will sit there and talk to you about what you do well, what you can do better in, how you can do better, and just come up with a plan on how to develop that.
And failure is obviously going to happen. I know that we try to avoid it, but it's bound to happen, especially when you're new to something. How do you say you got through the failure that you've experienced? How do you kind of recommend to other people to get through that failure that they go through?
Definitely just knowing that failure is going to happen is the first step in that. Knowing that you are going to mess up sometimes and that's okay really helps, because we all try to be perfect, but it's not really going to be perfect every single time. So when I first came in, we had a good group of upperclassmen in the department, and they were able to help me and let me know these things that, I needed to do that they learned when they were freshmen and they wish someone had told them. So being able to get that from them helped a lot, because I didn't have to experience the same kind of things that they did, because they learned from their mistakes and they were able to tell me.
And now that you're a upperclassman yourself, do you feel like you have that obligation to kind of be a leader to the freshmen and sophomores in the program?
For sure. It's not really so much of an obligation as much as I want to help them do better. Like, it's a program. We want to leave it better than when we found it. We don't want it to regress any. We want it to keep growing and getting better and produce people that are going to do big things and win awards and all these great stuff. And we just want to make it better all the time. So if I can share a little bit of information that will help do that, then I want to.
For sure. I think that teamwork is huge, especially here at Hannibal, and I think that we're building a good team that we have. And you talked about awards. How do you think that Newsbeat is one thing that we do here at Hannibal? It's our news show where we especially work as a team, and then we go to different competitions and kind of put together different forms of news, stuff like that. How do you think that is important, just the aspect of competing using the skills and knowledge that we've learned to kind of gain these awards, stuff like that?
It gives us a great knowledge of where we are compared to other schools, other people that are maybe learning the same kinds of things that we are, but in a little bit different way. It helps us know what we're good at, what we need to get better at. If we're winning awards, how do we win more? How do we, learn how to compete with these different schools and make the best pieces of news that we can, that are interesting, entertaining, but also give people the information that they need.
For sure. Now I'm going to swing back a little bit to the practical experience that we were talking about earlier. Just tell me a little bit about your internship and why you think that having one is important.
Yeah, so I mentioned that in high school we had a small town newspaper. My freshman year, I was able to actually email them and apply for an internship, and I received it. They've been great. They've given me tons of feedback on things that they like that I do, things that I can work on and get better at, and they've just really helped grow me as a person and as a writer. And they have even hired me as a staff writer now, so I still continue to work for them and write for them, and it's just really helped me learn the industry in the real world, because we can do as much as we want here, but it won't be 100% real until you're out there interviewing people in events that are happening around an actual community instead of just at the school.
It is so valuable, and I'm glad that you're able to continue working for them even though you're, far away in Hannibal and stuff like that.
For sure.
Now we're going to get a little bit deeper, maybe make you think a little bit. So if everything went perfectly, you're graduating next year, hopefully. If everything goes perfectly, where are you going to be after graduation?
That's tough. I'm not really sure. I wouldn't say that I know where I want to be. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. So my dad, he has worked as a strength coach at all these different universities across the country, and one job that's always stuck out to me is sports information director. So either doing that or writing for a newspaper or something like that. I know those are two things that I would be very interested in doing. It's just a matter of where it would be, because there's jobs everywhere. It just depends on where I want to go and how I want to pursue those things.
Sports information director has piqued my interest too.
Definitely.
So, as long as we stay out of the same area.
That's right.
not
Or,
competing
we
for
can
the
work
same
together.
We could work together. That would be cool too. Now, what are some of your favorite experiences that you've had in this program over the years? Just highlight some of those for us.
There's been so many. So every year with the Newsbeat team and with all the different classes in general, we produce a show that airs on the local channel here in Quincy for the United Way, and it airs on normal TV, on broadcast television, and we get to go through and make that whole show a reality. And it's super fun to be involved with that and see it air out in real time to real viewers. And my freshman year, we actually got to attend the award show that was associated with the United Way. So that was just a super fun event that would reward all of our Newsbeat team members with their hard work. Last year we went to Nashville and we were able to attend a conference and work alongside people that really do these jobs on a daily basis. So that was super fun, and we enter our pieces into competitions and we get these awards, and it's super awesome to see our hard work paying off in real world experiences against real competition.
There's so much that is just, it's great to be in this program at Hannibal. I'm not going to lie.
It is.
So you talked about your experiences as a freshman and kind of how you feel that you want to pass along what you've gained. So I'm going to let you kind of do that here. What advice would you give to a freshman, specifically someone coming into the communications program?
Yeah, never stop learning. Never just assume that you know everything about what needs to be done and how to do your job. You can always learn something from somebody, whether you're just starting out or whether you are at the top of the food chain. You always have something that you can do better and something that somebody can teach you. So always listen to what others have to say.
Stay humble, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, we want to grow this program. We want to have, the best communications program. So what do you say to a high schooler, someone who's considering joining Hannibal's communications program? What do you say to them?
Definitely come check it out. If nothing else, come on a visit, talk to Mrs. Jung, ask her what we get to do on a daily basis, because we are out doing these things that real people in the field do. We get to go on reporting assignments. We get to interview people. We get to make stories. So if you're interested in that, definitely come check us out. Definitely come try out our program. If you don't like it, then that's okay. It's not for everybody, but if you're interested in it, give it a try. Definitely.
For sure. Well, thank you for your time, Cole. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jace.
Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
You've just heard from comm major Cole Arndorfer. After college, Cole anticipates using his acquired skills to work as a sports information director. At this time, Cole does not have a specific location in mind, but we wish him luck as he experiences this field in the real world. Well, that's about all for now. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you back in the next episode of Major Questions.